Hello, hello. Hey, Toya.
Hey y'all.
Listen, I had to turn the fan off. Y'all know how it is, ladies, menopause. But welcome to Hop presents in conjunction with I Am Me. Um, the recap of the previous show, which is entitled Gatekeepers of Our Beloved Community. And the host of last week was Michelle. Yay, our beloved Michelle hosted last week. So we know these questions are not only going to be dynamic, but they're going to be a little bit difficult. So get ready to tap in and answer. But look, I made it easy on everyone tonight, including you, Toya. I
Good.
picked the fun questions because
Okay.
Michelle can dig and dive deep. So if you want to see the deepness, the depth, even though these are deep, you need to go back and watch the show. You can go on YouTube and watch us House of Peach Empowering Women. You can watch it on my YouTube page, Peachy and T. You can also watch us right now in the I Am Me Inc. app. Hey, and if you're watching now, share this live. Don't y'all
Right.
miss us? You haven't seen us in a while, right? And say hello. Say hello
Y'all
if you
miss
are
us?
in the chat.
Y'all
Yes.
miss us?
So
Oh,
this
that's
is
so
going to be
sweet.
this one is going to be fun. So, the topic for tonight is gatekeepers of our beloved community. I guess she based it on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. defined the beloved community as a community in which everyone is cared for, absent of poverty, hunger, and hate, which we know that is not our reality today. But for the sake of these questions, we're going to, I guess, answer from that viewpoint or, just answer from your perspective. So, one of the first questions out of the many that Michelle had that I really enjoyed, she asked the ladies, they say home is where the heart is. How
Mm.
do you define home? Is it limited to a specific location or are there other factors? How do you keep a safe, inclusive, and diverse space? You want to answer it before we go into the video?
No,
Or
go
do
to the
you
video. Mom need to
go
think.
to the video? Toya, I thought this would be easy because isn't that what IME is about? Safe,
We
inclusive,
are. We
diverse
are.
spaces. So that
Yes,
shouldn't be
we
hard for
are.
us, right? But I will
Mm-hmm.
go to the clip. I loved Lee answer. I'm going to play Lee's clip.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I was in my feelings today or what, but so the questions were really difficult for me. So home to me is like a feeling, a person. Um, it's a safe place for me. That's what home is, and those safe places look like places where I don't have to shrink or be different or explain myself or have to translate myself, which I have to do that a lot to people. But as a queer, masculine looking woman, I find home in chosen family and community and connections that I make with, like, real connections I make with people. It's sitting with people who let me breathe and not have to worry about catching myself. And that if I say fuck it, that it's okay. And they're not going to go, oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that.
No, we're not.
It's to keep it safe for me is to be inclusive. Um, I remind myself that home is not about sameness. It's about, like, making everyone feel belonged that is in my home or in my presence. It means being intentional with my thoughts and my actions about other people's not sameness. Inviting people in that I would maybe be shy with or something, to ensure that, that there is this accountability to myself as well. Listening to the people that I include in my home and protecting the people that I let in my home. So, as a child, home was not a safe place for me. It was definitely a place of abuse and not comfort at all. I found myself sleeping under my bed at times, in closets, in trees, wrapped
And
around with a
the
belt.
people that I include in my
Oh wow, we have reverb. But it's it was something that as an adult I could change and that I could include people in and stuff so that they knew that they would have a safe place and that they would be accepted the same way I do. Just like in the past 2 weeks, someone said something to me that kind of just hurt me. It was like, if they're not my blood, they're not my family.
mm,
And it was horrible for me to hear it because as a parent to children who are not blood related to me, and as a foster child that doesn't belong to anyone, do I not mean anything then? Does my life have no value because I'm not blood related to my family? Is my family less valued? And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. And fuck them. Because I reject that theory completely because it's like family is who shows up for you, and people and safety and understanding. It's not convenient, it's the inconvenience of me and the people that stay around me, even though I'm inconvenient, that makes me, safe and feel like home. So, home isn't where you come from, it's where you're free to stay.
I love some of the stuff that Lee mentioned, especially the part when she said that, and basically saying that just because you live somewhere is not necessarily your home. You
right.
could grow up and, yeah, you live in this space with family, but when you're not feeling comfortable and feeling loved and feeling like yourself and you're getting abused, it's just a place that you lay your head. That's not necessarily a home. And you really don't realize that until you get older and really pay certain things attention. Like, well, that wasn't love, or that wasn't a home. And that's when you have to create your own space, because when you asked the question the first time, that was the first thing that came to my mind is my safe space. My home is my safe space. Like, this is like, crabbies crabs, so we eat our shells a lot. So yeah, like my home, I have to be comfortable in my home. It is so important to my mental health. I'm sorry, yeah, but it is so important to my mental health that my home is comfortable. And that's bringing other people in your life. People can be a part of your home as long as it's positive. You want somebody that's positive with you. You don't want to be arguing and things are feeling uncomfortable in your home. That's never safe. But I love that she love what Lee had to say.
Yeah, I definitely loved everything about what Lee said. I
Mhm.
love it, especially, this whole safe space because I am me, House of Peach. Anything with my name stamped on it
Mhm.
is about love. And for me, another thing that I loved that she said is family is not necessarily blood,
Blood, they're not.
because
Mm-mm.
like everybody that knows me that's close to me, they are my family. I
Mhm.
embrace you like you are my family, and that's
Mhm.
just what it is.
Right.
Sometimes you and your blood family don't even relate, don't have anything in common, and
Mhm.
for me, they don't take precedence over the people that, like Lee said, that show up for me. I know
Right.
who show up for me.
Right.
So home for me is my chosen family,
Mhm.
the paradise that I create for myself, for my
Mhm.
chosen family. And anyone that doesn't fit, then you just can't be in my home.
My
And that's
kids,
why I
like,
rest.
that's my home. Like
Yes,
my,
the paradise.
like,
Right.
yes. Mhm.
So, and something that Lee didn't mention, um, the beauty of a great loving environment. It allows you to explore who you are, become who you need to be, and then
Mhm.
you come out and you share that. Hi, Kanisha. I'm going to use your word. You take that love and you sprinkle it all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's the beautiful
Right.
thing about
Mm-hmm.
having a wonderful home. So Jay
Right.
said that part, I had a house with walls, but it was never home. My bully was at home. Yup. And that was not home.
It was not home.
Jay
Mm-mm.
said, I love my chosen family. They celebrate our milestones more than our blood. That's right.
Right.
And sometimes, you know, I think a lot of us as women have difficulties separating ourselves from our blood family. We feel like we are obligated to have these relationships to them based off of the title that they carry instead of holding them accountable for their actions. And if it's damaging, you have to separate yourselves. So, my that's just my point of view and my advice. We
Mm-hmm.
have to be
Mm-hmm.
mindful.
Mm-hmm.
We have to give people we have to judge people based off of their actions and who they are and how they treat us. We can't
Mm-hmm.
carry them based off
Right.
that title, mom, cousin. Are
Mm-mm.
they living
That's
the part of mom, cousin,
right.
dad,
That stuff
boyfriend,
you
girlfriend?
can't control that. You can't
Right,
control who's your family, but you can control who you want to keep in your space. You
right.
could definitely, and that's okay, you know. So when it comes to family, you got to meet them where they at sometime. And just
Yep.
because they're mother, father, brother, sister, if it's not going good, they not bringing nothing to your mental health, and you're and vice versa, because it's not just one sided, it's two sided as well. Gotta let it go.
You gotta let it go in
Gotta
order
find your
to
peace.
right, in order for you to keep your sanity and become, like I said, I'm all about a person becoming the best you. And if
Yes.
anything or anyone is holding you back, that is not your tribe, that is not, your family, whether it be blood or chosen, walk away from it. Become
Right.
always stressed to become the best you. And like Lee said, your home should be a safe space.
It should be a safe space.
All right.
It
So
should
Jay
be.
said, even as a trans man, I still struggle with this because of my upbringing.
Hmm.
Well, baby, you listen, take advice from me, and you know I love you, and you are definitely a part of my chosen family.
Hmm.
Sometimes we gotta lace up them sneakers and walk away. Walk away
Okay.
from not what walk away from anything that's stopping you from becoming the best you. So, we talked about chosen family. See, you see how Michelle be going in with these questions.
I can't see. How you tell me what to say?
So, the second question that I pulled, and you're gonna find this, it's not. Is it? This one is easier because this
Oh, this
Michelle
one.
be
Okay.
going in.
Oh, yes, she does.
So,
She
her
does.
second question: if
Okay.
you could host a special edition of Queens and invite three women, who would you invite that you believe would bring important lessons, messages to other queens, and why?
Hmm.
They can be living or deceased, public figures, historical figures, friends, and family. Who would you bring? Should we answer before or should we play the clip?
Um, just play the clips. I'm
All
interested
right.
in hearing what people have to say, but go
Okay.
ahead.
So I chose Canisius
You chose
because
Kanisha.
it's if I was on a panel that night, she said what I probably would have said. It's similar to what I would have said, but I'm gonna play her clip so you can hear who she chose.
All right, Kanisha.
My table, first and foremost, one person I would love at my table would be Harriet Tubman. Um, the resilience and the persistency, the drive, the energy, the never ending. I got to get this done. That drive in her. Would love to have her at a table just to talk to her and pick her brain about life and how to push forward and just the love she had for what she did. Um, I would also love to have my cousin, who was my absolute best friend, who has, she is deceased and she is no longer with us, and she was 12 years old when when she passed, 11, I believe. My apologies, when she passed. Forgive me if I'm emotional. She was my best friend. She was just a pillar of truth, as Lee said. There was no cut cards. It was just, it was what it was. You got what you got, and it is what it is. You either liked her or you didn't. That point blank period with her. And my third one, I'm gonna have to say something that I recently just realized is my aunt Gertrude. I did not realize how much of a pillar she was in my community. She did so much in our community for women as a whole. She was known for doing hair. She was on many boards and got many awards for different things that she did in our community and contributing to our community. I would love to have her voice of unity and her voice of resilience and her voice of power. Those would be the three people that I would love at my queen's table.
Wow, I like that. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Toya, who would you have at your queen's table?
You know what? When I was always just thinking about like family, like women family stuff like that. But when she said her first person, she said Harriet Tubman. Was that it?
Uh-huh.
Right. So she made me think. I was like, oh, who? And then I thought about Maya Angelou. She was so wise. I think that would be and like she was just so strong and empowered black female, and I just felt like just her voice, it just carries, it makes you just want to sit there and listen. Like she just knows it, right? Like you could learn a lot. It's something about me. I love speaking to older people. I love hearing older people because I feel like they've been here longer than me. Even though it's a different time, it's pretty much the same. And I feel like they have so much wisdom. I like to talk. I would talk to um my grandmother as well. No, these is all older people. I I have some younger female friends that I would talk to as well, but it's something about that older wisdom. I just I gravitate to it. And then the last person I would invite is my godmother. I know y'all heard me talk about her before. She was actually my mom's girlfriend, but she was also my godmother, and I loved her so much. And she passed away when I was probably about 12. So we've always had good conversations, and she was like my house, if that makes sense. And she was my house because I felt so comfortable with her. The love was so real, and it just, yeah. Now y'all gonna make me get emotional. I'm already feeling a little emotional. Stop.
Jay Jay said if he could go back or bring three women up, he said Miss Major, Marsha P. Johnson, and his
Yes.
maternal grandmother that
Yeah.
he said I never met but heard so many stories about her power that reminds me of myself today.
Yes. Yes.
Dope.
Those are good ones, Jay. Oh,
Yeah, but when I heard the question, um, the other ladies were basically saying that they would want to have Marsha, one person said Marsha P. I think Lee said Audrey Lorde. Um, I believe it was a lot of Michelle Obama's thrown in there. But I
okay.
found it
That's a good one too.
interesting, that Kanisha, I just love what she said. And here's why I found it interesting. Because oftentimes, as women, we look
Hmm.
outside of our families, the people that's right directly tangible people that we know about, and we look to the stars. When we have fabulous warrior women right in our bloodline that we can
Yes.
actually learn, even if we never met them, if we knew their stories, if we knew
Yes.
the paths that they walk, and that could be more relatable to us. And for me it's empowering because I share their blood.
You
So
could, it's
if
like you could still feel them,
right.
right?
So for
Yes.
me, if I had to go back, I would want to talk to my grandmother, and then I would
Mhm.
want to talk to my great 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 grandmother from the
Yes.
1800s, and then I would
Yes.
love to talk to my great 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 grandmother in the 1700s, and then I would sit them at a
Mhm.
table and say, how are we doing as a family?
I
Was
love
this
that.
your dream? What
Mhm.
could we be doing better? What would you like more of? Is this what expectations?
Mhm.
Because you sacrifice so much for us.
Mhm.
Are we doing it?
That's
So
good.
that would be me.
I love
But
that.
like I said, I love that Kanisha said, you know
Yes.
what? Michelle Obama is great fine. Harriet Tubman is great fine. But I got heroes in my life that don't get the spotlight,
That's right.
and they did it, and they did it for
Right.
me.
Mhm.
So that's how the reason why because I loved it.
I love it.
I
Yes,
loved
I
it.
would love to talk to my great grandmothers. I would love that because you know they would just have so much to say,
Yeah,
so
and
much
they'll give it to
input.
you straight. They
They give it to you straight.
listen. I don't know what this family doing, but I ain't shucked that corn. I
Okay.
ain't I ain't beat the master's ass for this.
Right.
I ain't stay alive for this.
I know that's
I ain't
right.
run away. I
Mhm.
held strong. But yeah, it would be interesting to know, especially since I have a diverse background with me being actually indigenous and then Caribbean America.
Yeah.
It would just be
Mhm.
amazing to see what these
Yes.
ladies would
Oh my
have to
gosh.
say.
Imagine our Indian, like our Native American side of the
Yeah,
family. That would be so amazing. I've
it would
seen
be amazing.
photos of my cousins, real Indians, and it's just like, wow, I wonder what they went through. What was
Yep,
going on?
yep.
I
And
love
they
that.
and yup, and they probably tell half of us, suck it up. Suck it up,
Yes,
buttercup, because what
that's
you going
right.
through.
It's nothing.
I can see him now. Suck it up, buttercup.
Right.
I tell you, my great 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 grandchildren better not call me back because I'm letting them know. Jay
That's
said I'm
funny.
pretty. Jay said I'm pretty sure my grandmother might be molly whopping my mom over me today.
What? Not
I'm
the
telling
mollywop.
you. But that was an awesome question,
That was
Michelle.
a good one.
Very very deep,
Yes,
very
Michelle. That was.
thought provoking, very
Right.
thought provoking. So, all right. So the next question, right? And like I said, Michelle be digging all the way the freaking fracking
She said,
deep.
what she say?
Oh, so I don't have a clip for this one, but I did want to ask this question.
Okay.
Often those in the women's movement rail against the patriarchy, but how do we call in men and boys to be a part of building a beloved community? In past episodes, some of us have talked about what we have taught our sons. How do you see them paying it forward to call in their friends, the next generation of men, etc.? How do
Hmm.
we bring the men in
Wow.
to go against the patriarchy?
Wow. That is a great question. Look, y'all had time to think about those questions because Lord, nah. But that is honestly, I think when you just mentioned that women how they're raising their sons, you have to raise your sons first and foremost. They have to be men, but respectable men, non-judgmental men, and just lead by example because you can't just talk about it. You have to show them as well how to be that way, non-judgmental, and just be a man, I guess. So you can't women can't really they say women can't teach men, but just show them the right path.
You see, Kanisha said Michelle was Michelling.
Michelle was Michelling.
I know, Kanisha, these questions.
Oh
But
man.
you know,
Sheesh. Go ahead,
to
P. What you
answer
think?
yeah, to
Go
answer this, right? And I was having a conversation with my friend earlier about this, you know. I think when it comes to our young men, our young boys, it's important that we explain to them the struggle of women and the
Yes,
behaviors of the women of the time. So
for
we were
sure.
having a discussion about today, I think being the 20th anniversary of the 20th year that women were allowed to get mortgages without their husbands signing.
Wow.
And I'm like, yes, I knew we didn't have those rights. I know we gained them sometime, I believed in the 70s or 80s. I'm not too sure right off the head. But I think the thing is, if we explain to them what we had to fight for, explain to them why our grandmothers or our great grandmothers were patient and kind to these men and dealt with so much more. It's not because it was just so much love, it was because of their inability to do things without these men. They couldn't function in society.
Mm,
So that's all, you
yeah.
know, if you explain that, then maybe these men will have a different perspective. They won't look at these women and say, oh, well, she doesn't behave like my great grandmother or my grandmother. I would like a woman to behave like that. But that's a different time, different circumstance. And I think if we begin to teach our children history in general,
Yes.
about their blackness, about
Yes.
the rights of women, about even the community, don't have them walking
Yes.
into the world blind,
Mm-mm.
then
You
the
have to
society
educate.
different, right?
You have to educate. It's like us with any of our children. We have to educate them because they. Okay, we could talk about black people. They try to erase the history, but even with LGBT, they will try to erase that history too. But it's up to us, the ones who know. And if you don't know, go figure it out. Go find somebody that does know. Because we don't have all the answers, but someone knows. Go find that person that know and educate your children. I think it's so important. You're
Right.
right, Peter.
Jay said,
Mm.
actually, being a trans man has allowed me to channel my past life and current life to be the best teacher to Onyx. Yep, I think Onyx is going to be very well rounded.
Yes.
But
Yes.
yes, I think Michelle, that was an awesome question. I think education is the key to
Yes.
bringing the men into helping us fight against the patriarchy. But I also believe as women, it has to be beneficial for both sides. So we
Yes.
just can't rail against manhood and think the men is going to help you go against it. We have to
Hmm.
have a healthy conversation as to what we want our relationships to look like
Hmm.
and then go forward from there. So, you know, that is my answer to that. And I hope people enjoyed my answer because I feel
They
like I'm
will. She said, I'm right. I know that's right.
right. Oh Lord. So here's the next question. Michelle. Michelle. This is a fun one. When you see or think about young women in the spotlight or news like Amanda Gorman, Rihanna, Cardi B, Maya Penn, Jasmine Crockett, and others, what inspires you? What gives you hope and makes you concerned? We're going to go to Ariel's clip, or you want to talk about what your thoughts are. You want to
Go
go to
to
Ariel?
her. Go ahead.
I agree. Like I think like I was with Lee that their boldness is what I really admire and appreciate about the younger generation. I mean, I don't know that I'm all that much older than Jasmine Crockett. At least I don't want to think
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
But that I feel like so what I notice the most is that they're so much more unapologetic, so much more unwilling to make some of the compromises that we grew up as normal. Like, you know what I mean? Like to let that guy pat you on the shoulder or to, you know, to be a little quiet in the boardroom because you wanted to get ahead. Like none of that. Like they have none of that. Like they're just out here like, what? Who heard of being quiet to be heard to get opportunity? That doesn't even make any sense.
Exactly.
And I love that. I think it's amazing. I feel like they are, you know, pulling us forward like with like gusto and verve and style in a lot of ways, because they are bold. They don't, they take up space. They don't feel like they have to. They are redefining what is normal in society, and I feel like that it makes me feel more free, truthfully, to be myself, because like once upon a time, like I too was like, you know, um having to make emotional sacrifices, or at least I thought I did, to shrink myself, you know, to set myself on fire to keep other people warm, all of that. And like I just don't feel like this new generation is about it. Like they're like, wait, that doesn't even make any sense. And then you're like, you know what, you're right. Like what am I, let me, you know, like let me get it together
Mhm.
and be out here like talking the talk, and let me lead just as boldly, so that like I can go first like I'm supposed to, so that I can, you know, take these first shots, so that you can see how they're coming and you can, you know, avoid them and learn from what's happening with me. um I think that's, I think it's amazing what the younger generation is doing. And I especially love Jasmine Crockett, because I feel like, and Maya Penn too, I feel like they're unapologetic about who they are, and that like
Mhm.
you don't have to do, like they're not changing anything about themselves. They're showing up who they are in whatever spaces they've decided they belong in, like, and they're deciding that. um and they're not like, you know, I just remember like, you know, feeling like I'm from West Philly. I absolutely could have all the accent in the world that you would associate with that. But I worked really hard not to, because it was associated with being ghetto and thus uneducated or undereducated. And I wanted to fit in into spaces where education, where I was educated, and where I wanted to be able to move smoothly and with respect. And it was already like I'm already got that double hit of black and woman. So
Mhm.
you know, to be able to see like Jasmine Crockett with her wigs and her nails and her AAVE just out here like, stop, child. I love it. Like it feeds me. And because it's like, you know what? Like she wouldn't have been able to be who she is like 20 years ago, but it also shows me where we are now, right? Because she couldn't have been that way 20 years ago and still have the same kind of respect and standing and like support from the people that she does. So I love it.
Mhm.
All right, Toya.
Read that question one more time, please.
So when you see or think about young women in the spotlight or news like Amanda Gorman, Rihanna, Cardi B, Maya Penn, Jasmine Crockett, whoever, whatever woman you always typically see, what inspires you, gives you hope, and make you concerned? And I think Ariel, if made a mistake and said Michelle, no, Michelle came up with the questions, but I loved everything Ariel said. But go ahead and answer the question, Toya.
Hmm. I think what inspires me about the young, well, not too much younger, because I think they're about around my age range, um, that they know who they are, and they step out boldly and proud, and they just go for it. And that's what I love. That's what makes, and a lot of them sometimes you don't even realize a lot of them came from nothing, and they had to make themselves into something. And by them just keep going and not stopping, just believing in themselves and just stepping out. Cause I don't want to. I don't. You said Cardi B, and I love Cardi B, and I just love her story. I'm sorry, especially her being we for the same place. I love her story, and I feel like I relate to her so much. But it's like she inspires me. Like, damn, she just did all of that within this amount of years. Damn, she just stepped out like that, and she just but being they just loud too, just loud, and that's just something I don't I don't have about. I'm not loud, y'all. And but you have to be heard. You have to make sure people are hearing you. So sometimes you have to be loud. But yeah. What's your thoughts, P?
Well, Jay said, I see authenticity, truth, and power. Okay, so Forgive me, ladies, but my opinion is a little different. I love the boldness. I love the determination. I love the
Yes.
willpower. I love
Mhm.
that the women are taking up space. But I
Mhm.
don't I don't I don't like the uniforms they're showing up in.
No, I don't. I don't care. Don't get me wrong.
Because
They look cute
right,
sometimes, but it be a lot, and that's that boldness. They are speaking. That's how they speak loud too,
but
with their clothing.
you can be all of those things with a different uniform.
You could.
And sometimes I don't like the lingo.
I get it.
And that's just, that's me
That's
because
fine.
I'm born in the 70s. I
Mhm.
was raised by someone born in the 30s, right? That's just probably my mind state. I
Right.
don't have a more modernized parent that was born in maybe the 50s. Well, my mom was born in the 50s, but I was raised by my grandmother. So through my lens, raised by a 30s woman, you can be all of those things. You can be bold, you could be brash, you could take up space. You could say some of the wildest stuff and you can do it tastefully in the correct uniform. Like
Mhm.
why does your attire sometimes we lose the message because of your clothing.
Right.
And I believe a lot of men, not maybe not necessarily the women, but I believe a lot of men probably misses like Cardi B could be saying some profound things, but because of the way that she's dressed, the loudness, the sometimes the vulgarity, like like I
Right.
use cuss
Mhm.
words and too, but she's just very vulgar
Mhm.
to me.
I've
You miss it.
realized, and I've realized from being a part of shows like acting or whatever, being a part of stage performances, how they think. They want the petites and the ones who are bold. That's what they, because it brings attention. They don't really like the thick ones. They might have one thick person there, but not too many. Like it's all about the image and how they're gonna get attention from people because people sex sells. It really does. So that's why that's what that is about. Sex sells. And people want to see sexy things, I guess. But it's crazy how you have to conduct yourself in this manner to get that attention. It's crazy because, like you said, P, you don't have to look like that. You don't.
Yeah. And then another thing, again, like I said, I love Jasmine Crockett. I love everything about her. Amanda Gorman, I love everything about her. But
Right.
when we go into the rap world, I see
Hmm.
how that translate, like their message translate over to the young black females.
Yes.
And
What about young
I don't
girls?
like it. I don't
Right. The
like how
young.
it's translating
Yeah.
over to them. Like they're
Yeah.
completely missing the message and they're just taking on the
The
art form. They're
right.
embodying the art
Hmm.
form and
Hmm.
you know, and unfortunately, please don't come for me, Beehive. Beyonce does some awesome things,
Hmm.
but at times I think sometimes she could clean it up a little bit and come and have like a real message,
But I feel
So
like she does things really tasteful, even though it may seem, but she, compared to a lot of this other stuff going
yeah,
on,
it's
is
a mess, but you need to come, I think,
I
as
see.
any black female, specifically for our community, right? I think once we done entertaining, we need to come off that stage and then come down to being an auntie. We need to come down to being a god mommy or whatever age
Hmm.
that we are, or a
Hmm.
grandmother, and have real conversations. Like
Yeah.
Cardi B, you can't tell me I mean, forgive me. I was about to say ignorant. I'm going to cross that out. You cannot tell me she's that bold and when the camera's off with her children.
Right. Hmm.
Give us something tangible and real.
And real.
Come out of that and
Hmm.
give us, have the real conversations and and leverage your platform to really go for some change for these young children. And by the
Hmm.
way, Cardi B is black. Y'all ain't realize that Cardi B is black. Y'all ain't know that. All right, so. Sorry,
You know
Hispanic community.
that.
She's Dominican with a black father. That's double black. With a taste with a slice of Latino. So anyway, Jay says again, my lens is very different than traditional men, so I see what you see. I see how you see that makes sense. And that's why these YTs, why y'all be calling the YTs or using this against black women too? Oh Lord. You don't always have to be in performance mode. Right, you don't. You don't. But I thought that was a lovely questions, and not to say all of our leaders are giving Cardi B or giving Little Kim this is what she represents, Little Kim.
I'm done.
That's
That's
what I'm
okay,
getting.
Mary. I
Yeah,
said,
Little Kim be doing that little.
I'm laughing.
That's what. Listen, this is what I be
She
getting.
said,
This man, I don't know, but this was that the show Michelle had was awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So one last question, right? And this is going to be a bit controversial, but we
hmm,
like being controversial here, right?
I
What are
guess.
your hopes for a beloved community? Are there any things beyond those defined by Dr. King? What do you hope for our community? Are there any things beyond the thoughts and views defined by Dr. Martin Luther King?
I feel like we don't come together. That's something we don't do that we should do. I feel like we could get a lot more done if we came together,
Yeah,
and that is not happening.
right.
And that's all Dr. King was about, people uniting, coming together, stopping all the hate. He didn't come on now.
Oh, okay. So I guess it's my turn to give my opinion.
I guess you go
Oh,
ahead,
oh Lord.
spill
Oh Lord. Okay.
what you
So, so let's talk about that part, Jay. Not all Black Lives Matter. Okay, so when we talk about what we like to see for our community, and then we bring in the Dr. King. Which Dr. King are we talking about? We talking about the Kumbaya Dr. King, or after he
Yeah, which
learned his
one?
lesson, Dr. King? And
Oh.
for me, for me, I do agree with you. I think as a black community that we need to rally together. We need to support each other. We need to do um group economics with each other.
Mhm.
I think we need to be organizing and putting our little dollars together. Same way we come together and buy all the Nike ears and we post up on with our little brand new leather jackets. We need to come together and take that money and put us some politicians where we need them to be, right? So they can
Okay.
function for us.
Yes.
Now, I the Dr. King, the Kumbaya one, he's that's not for me. I enjoyed the learned Dr. King that got killed. Because that's who got killed, the learned one. If you go back and watch some of his old videotapes or some of his speeches right before he died, when he said, I fear that I walk my community into a burning bush or something like that, I think we need to take a look at that. I think he realized that integration wasn't the way. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't be integrated. I'm saying that we need to practice a little bit of segregation until our community could actually come together and function as one. And then we can go out and function in greater society. So that is my viewpoint without me going down a rabbit hole or whatever. But research Dr. King. It got deeper for that man. He learned after getting hosed down, marches, and everything else. Oh, he learned. I like the alert, Dr. King. Jay said, yes, that's the Dr. King I like too. But Toya has exited the building. That is all I have for tonight for this recap of this wonderful topic. Thank you, Michelle, for diving deep. and bringing tears to my eyes and making me look back and just reflect on some of the things that I didn't even know that I needed at the moment. Um, Topic, if you need to look this up because you enjoyed the clips, gatekeepers of our beloved community. You can go to any of the House of Peach pages. Watch the full episode. It's filled with information, filled with these wonderful ladies imparting wisdom to you. Also, please tune in every Monday at 8 p.m. So, how this the Queen's episodes work, you get the recap and then you have the actual show. So, tune in next week. I believe the host will be Ariel. I cannot wait for her questions. I can't wait for her topic. You know what, these ladies be going in, but I always leave loving myself more, loving my community more, loving the women that's in my life, my chosen family, like Lee said, the ones that love and cover me, and just loving being a woman myself. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed tonight. Share this live with your friends. Tune into Queens next Monday. If you are following IME Inc., tomorrow is in black. We will have an amazing conversation. It's going to be about the media and how they play all these media tricks and how they are deceptive and how they are impacting these views and thoughts is impacting the way the greater community treats the LGBTQ plus community. So I say tune in. So you guys have a good night. I love you. I hope you enjoyed this. Please follow us on all the pages. That's IME Inc. Follow all the hot pages. Follow all the Peachy and Tea pages. You get to see all this amazing content from all these amazing, wonderful women. And y'all have a good night. See y'all tomorrow. Bye.